Good day, ma'am. We will gonna discuss and compare the language program and policies in Thailand and in the Philippines. In our research, it covers the following. First, a brief introduction to the policies and programs of the Philippines and in Thailand. Second is the key points from our comparative analysis. Third is the major aspects of their language policies or programs. Fourth is the discussion of the relevance of these policies in today's globalized landscape. First, let's explore the language policy in the Philippines, which is the MTB-MLE. The government of the Philippines has placed high priority on improving literacy and is currently undertaking comprehensive reform initiatives, including curricular reforms and implementation of the mother tongue-based multilingual education. This policy is a globally proven effective instrument in enhancing the learning of students in the early grades as they read and study in the language that they use at home. So, from this policy, students can read and write with the use of their mother tongue. They can easily understand the instruction of the teacher because the teacher used the language that they use at home. Also, studies conducted by UNICEF and UNESCO have shown that learners not only do better when they are taught in their mother tongue, but they also develop a more positive attitude in continuing their education. Philippines Business for Education or PBED supports the decision of the Department of Education or DepEd to conduct a review and improve implementation of the MTB-MLE program. DepEd decision is a welcome development as many of these challenges are anchored on its execution, such as compliance with the minimum requirements set by the law, need for localized learning materials, alignment between teacher education programs and the MTB-MLE framework, and the need for assessment and monitoring tools. The Mother Tongue-based multilingual education policy is an education program for children who do not speak the official language when they begin school. MTB-MLE students learn to read and write first in their mother tongue. So through this policy, the students can understand the teacher if the language that the teacher uses is their mother tongue. So the purpose of this policy is to emphasize the use of language of the home as a medium of instruction. Through this policy, the learner can use their mother tongue for them to express their thoughts and ideas freely, and they can understand the instruction of the teacher. On the other hand, let's proceed to the language policies in Thailand. According to the researchers Suwilai Premsrirat, Thailand thinks of itself as being essentially monolingual. Thailand is far more linguistically diverse than commonly thought. In Thailand, there are 70 different languages were spoken. Through the status of Thai as a national language is assumed in practice, particularly in the government, education, and the mass media, is an explicit policy supporting this is minimal. So in February 7, 2010, PM Abhisit Vijajiva approved the implementation of the new language policies drafted by the Royal Institute of Thailand, which has also been approved by the incumbent Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. This new policy reiterates the status of Thai as the national language, declaring that every citizen should be fluent on it so as to enhance national unity and communication. The policy also calls for increased focus on English and Chinese, as well as the languages of neighboring countries. The policy also declares Thailand's diverse ethnic languages as national treasures and supports the rights of getting ethnic tongues integrated into the school curriculum, thus bringing Thailand into compliance with several important United Nations Human Rights Declaration. The new policy states that it is the policy of the government to promote bilingual or multilingual education for the youth of ethnic groups whose mother tongue is different from their national language, which is Thai, as well as those from other countries who enter Thailand seeking employment. This new policy is also reflective of the essence of cultural democracy. Thailand, with its low fertility rate, will need to accommodate workers and their children from the region and ensure that they are able to retain their mother tongue as well as learn Thai. So this policy allowed people or students to learn their mother tongue as well as to learn their national language as well, which is Thai.
Next, we proceed to the comparative analysis. So, the Philippines and Thailand are both addressing language diversity and educational reform through distinct language policies aimed at improving literacy and promoting cultural identity. So this analysis compares their approaches, their challenges, and implication for educational outcomes. So language diversity in the Philippines. So the country recognizes 181 individual languages with 19 national languages used in the MTB-MLE program. So this approach emphasizes the importance of mother tongues in fostering national unity and cultural identity. So while in Thailand, Thailand is often perceived as monolingual, it actually has around 70 languages spoken across the country. So the recent language mapping project revealed the rich linguistic diversity that is often overlooked. So in summary, both countries showcase significant linguistic diversity with efforts to promote and integrate these languages into educational frameworks, reflecting their unique cultural identities and histories. Okay, next is the educational policy. So in the Philippines, the MTB-MLE program is a comprehensive initiative that encourages instructions in students' native languages, which has been shown to enhance learning outcomes and foster positive attitude towards education. So the Department of Education or DepEd is actively reviewing and improving this policy. So while in Thailand's new national language policy promotes the integration of ethnic languages into the educational curriculum, recognizes them as a national treasures. So this marks a shift towards bilingual or multilingual education, particularly for ethnic minorities. So in summary, both the Philippines and Thailand are implementing educational policies that prioritize linguistic diversity. So the Philippines focuses on enhancing learning through the MTB-MLE program, while the Thailand's new national language policy seeks to integrate ethnic languages into the curriculum, reflecting a commitment to inclusivity and cultural preservation. Okay, next, the cultural implication. So in the Philippines, the emphasis on mother tongues not only supports literacy but also strengthens the national identity and the cultural heritage. So the MTB-MLE program is seen as a means to unify diverse groups within the country. So while in Thailand, the new language policy reflects a commitment to cultural democracy, acknowledging the importance of preserving ethnic languages alongside with Thai. So this approach aims to create a more inclusive society, particularly as Thailand accommodates a growing number of migrant workers. So in summary, both countries are leveraging language policies to enhance cultural identity and heritage. So in the Philippines, the focus is on unifying diverse groups and promoting the national pride through mother tongues. So in Thailand, the commitment to cultural democracy and ethnic language preservation aims to create a more inclusive and harmonious society. It reflects the national's rich cultural landscapes. Okay, next is the implementation challenges. So in the Philippines, the challenges in the Philippines include the ensuring compliance with legal requirements. So developing localized learning materials and aligning teacher education with the MTB-MLE framework. These factors are essential for effective implementation of the language policy. So while in Thailand, despite the recognition of linguistic diversity, the historical dominance of Thai as the sole language in education possesses challenges for ethnic minority students. So the new policy aims to address these issues, but the effectiveness of implementation remains uncertain. So in summary, both the Philippines and Thailand faces significant challenges in implementing their language policies. So the Philippines must focus on the compliance of the resources, the development, and the teacher training, while the Thailand grapples with the legacy of the Thai dominance in education and the uncertain effectiveness of the new policies. So addressing these challenges is critical for realizing the benefits of linguistic diversity in education. So the Philippines and Thailand both recognizes their linguistic diversity and are reforming educational policies to include multilingual education, emphasizing the mother tongue instructions to enhance the learning outcomes. So both countries aim to promote their national unity and cultural identity while addressing the implementation challenges such as the needs for localized materials and teacher training. Additionally, educational institutions in both nations support these initiatives, reflecting a commitment to improving literacy rates and preserving cultural heritage through the integration of ethnic languages into the curriculum.
And literature review, according to Sanchez 2013, studies assert that use of a child home language is one of the most important factors in helping children learn to read and write and learning academic content and other languages. MTB-MLE is important because it is believed that one does not learn in a language that he does not understand. And things starts in a language a child grows up with. And according to our P2 2016, in a quasi-experimental research, we found that using a mother tongue-based multilingual education in an early childhood classroom was effective in fostering children's learning abilities. In Southeast Asia, the Philippines is the only country to have instituted a national policy requiring mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE in the primary school years. Hence, the Philippines is being looked at as an example for the rest of the region for the implementation of MTB-MLE. In the Southeast Asia, the Philippines stand out as the only country with a national policy mandating mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE in the early years of primary school. This approach uses the learners as the first language as the medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3, gradually also introducing the Filipino and English. The goal is that to improve learning by starting in a language in order to children understand best while also promoting cultural identity and smoother transition to languages. So pinaagyan nga approach nga ang Philippines nag-stand sila sa kanang policy nga mother tongue-based multilingual education. Ang Philippines din mo siyang model sa pag-implement sa MTB-MLE as in the region. According to Spolsky 2004, Thailand showed their increasing prominence in terms of the role of English in their language policy. The Thai government has pursued a policy of monolingualism. This policy established Thai official standard and national language parity based on the dialect spoken, particularly by ethnic Thais. Historically, the State Convention 9 declared Thai as the national language of Thailand. It was promulgated on June 24, 1940 that presently the Thai language is gipractice nila sa education, sa government ug sa mass media para kanang magamit nila ang ilahang kanang language o national language sa Thailand. On February 7, 2021, Abhisit Bijajiva approved the implementation of Thailand's new national language policy. With that, the new language policy of Thailand re-emphasized the status of Thai as the national language of Thailand, declaring that every citizen of the country should be fluent with their language to develop national unity with better communication. Even the Education Ministry of Thailand was committed to make a new policy by taking concrete steps to facilitate its implementation, especially in the ilahang educational system sa Thailand. Unya ang ilahang monolingualism in Thailand has been deeply rooted in educational system where Thai was the exclusive medium of instruction in school. So, pag binagi sa kanang pag-uan nila sa ilahang bagong na medium of instruction, which is the national language of Thailand, which is Thai, ang mga namuyo dito sa country sa Thailand na fluent sila sa ilahang language nga ilahang gigamit kanunay unya na develop pud ilahang pag communicate sa ilahang nation, sa ilahang country. According to Watskin 2013, research on monolingualism in Thailand reveals the challenges faced by children from linguistic minority backgrounds in assessing education. These students, many of whom speak languages such as Karen, Hawong, or Laho, are often forced to learn in a language that is their own, and leading to academic difficulties, alienation, and increased dropout rates. So, according to SEN 2016, the Education Ministry statistic, these students often perform poorly in standardized tests as they struggle to grasp complex academic concepts in a second languages. Also, in recent years, Thailand has begun to explore alternatives to monolingualism by considering the benefits of MTB-MLE as a model that uses children's mother tongue in early education. But alongside, Thai had potentially other languages. In essence, MTB-MLE aims to foster bilingual or multilingual competencies, to enable students to acquire academic skills more effectively while preserving the cultural and linguistic heritage. The new language policy of Thailand states that it is the government policy to promote bilingual or multilingual education for the youth of ethnic groups where whose mother tongue is different from the national language, which is Thai, as well as those from other countries who enter Thailand seeking employment. The new language policy of Thailand, it signifies that Thailand is far more linguistically diverse than most people perceive. The language policy in Thailand aims to foster cultural democracy through linguistic diversity.
Comprehensive mother tongue-based multilingual education, or MTB-MLE program, has been put in place in the Philippines, which makes use of the diverse range of languages spoken there to improve educational outcomes and foster national cohesion. On the other hand, despite being thought of as monolingual, Thailand is starting to acknowledge its own linguistic diversity, and thanks to a new national language strategy that incorporates ethnic languages into the curriculum and supports cultural democracy. So, this compares the language education approaches of the Philippines and Thailand, which mean in the Philippines, a mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE program has been implemented. It uses the country's many language or local languages to enhance learning and promote unity among its diverse population. And in Thailand, although it is often seen as monolingual, the country is beginning to recognize its linguistic diversity, and a new national language strategy now includes ethnic languages in schools, supporting cultural inclusion and democracy. In short, both countries are embracing local languages in education, but the Philippines is more advanced in this effort, while Thailand is just beginning to shift from a monolingual to a more inclusive approach. Both of them have embarked on significant educational reforms that prioritize linguistic diversity and cultural inclusivity, primarily through the implementation and support of mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE policies. So these initiatives reflect a growing global recognition that language plays a critical role not only in academic achievement but also in fostering identity, self-esteem, and national unity. So this highlights a shared effort by the Philippines and Thailand to reform education by valuing linguistic and cultural diversity. So both countries are implementing mother tongue-based multilingual education, or what we call MTB-MLE policies, to make learning more effective and inclusive. So these reforms show a global understanding that language is a key not only for better academic performance but also for building a strong sense of identity, confidence, and national unity. So both nations recognize that using learners' first language in education supports both personal growth and social cohesion. So the Philippines stands as a pioneering model in Southeast Asia, having institutionalized MTB-MLE as a national policy for early education. Its comprehensive approach, which includes instruction in 19 national languages, affirms the value of each child's linguistic heritage while simultaneously improving literacy and academic performance. So this emphasizes that the Philippines' leadership in language-based education reform is a pioneer in Southeast Asia for making MTB-MLE mother tongue-based multilingual education a national policy in early education. So its program uses 19 national languages for instruction, showing respect for each child's linguistic background, and this approach helps to preserve cultural identity while also boosting literacy and academic success. So in short, the Philippines serves as a strong example of how embracing linguistic diversity in schools can lead to both cultural and educational benefits. Since Thailand, on the other hand, is in the process of transitioning from a historical monolingual education system to a more inclusive multilingual framework. So the recent language policy shift recognizes ethnic languages as national treasures and supports their integration into the national curriculum. So both countries' efforts signify a broader regional trend in Southeast Asia toward embracing multilingualism and valuing indigenous culture within formal education systems. While the Philippines currently leads in policy execution and serves as a regional model, Thailand's growing recognition of its linguistic diversity and its steps toward policy reform offer hope for a more inclusive and culturally responsive education system. So, to explain this, Thailand's evolving approach to language education and compares it to the Philippines in since Thailand shifting from a monolingual education system to a more inclusive multilingual one. So, a new language policy now recognizes ethnic languages as valuable and supports their use in schools, promoting cultural respect and inclusion. So this change reflects a larger regional movement in Southeast Asia to embrace multilingualism and honor indigenous cultures in education. So while the Philippines is ahead in both policy and implementation, Thailand's progress shows a positive move toward a more inclusive and culturally sensitive education system. In short, both countries are part of a regional push to make education more reflective of their diverse cultures and languages, with the Philippines leading and Thailand making meaningful strides. So the comparative experience of the Philippines and build social unity. As a globalization and migration change the region, these language policies become even more important for building inclusive, resilient societies that honor their cultural and linguistic diversity. So, in short, the experience of the Philippines and Thailand demonstrate that mother tongue